Saludos y salud, clase, mucha salud. Este es el tutorial 7, práctica y prueba. Muy bien, empecemos con nuestra oración. Padre, Hijo, Espíritu Santo. Amén. Padre, Hijo, Espíritu Santo. Amén. Chicos, en esta agenda, tutorial 7, vamos a hablar sobre el feedback y anuncios, un poco de feedback and announcements, preferencias de prueba, en usar recursos. Your preferences on assessment and a reminder to use your resources. Okay. 2. Tarea, which equals práctica de prueba, your practice assessment that will be due on this session. Okay. Number 1, feedback and announcements. It is very important that you guys see how much these Microsoft Teams small surveys are for our relationship here. I have been looking at them and I have been able to change and move things around as you guys are giving me information on these feedback prompts here. On the last feedback prompt, feedback 6, you were asked to give me some information on how comfortable you are with 4 different areas in how you guys can be assessed on. We have vocabulary memory, how much you can memorize, your grammar, how much good you are telling the tense on the Spanish being used, present, past, reading comprehension, we've done a little bit of that, and then speaking, we've done that more through Flipgrid, right? So I'm gonna focus here and wanna point out really quick just the areas where you guys are showing more consistency or more strength into one particular level of comfort. The darkest areas basically point out where most of you are or very comfortable about or very uncomfortable about. So as you can see, I'm just going to point the largest ones. I see that speaking, you guys interacting with Flipgrid, making those videos and getting in conversation is something that you guys are strong on being comfortable about, right? And a lot of the very uncomfortable areas are gonna be on how much you're able to memorize a lot of these vocabulary, right? So those are the 2 corners of the spectrum. How much comfortable you're with speaking, using Flipgrid, and how much you don't want to be tested on, assessed on vocabulary. This actually is a trend that goes along all classrooms. There's a strength on how much we are being interacting with Flipgrid, and also weakness on how we interact with vocabulary. This changes a little bit in a couple instances, like reading comprehension not being also a comfortable spot, but I'm getting a clear idea that you guys are good having that speaking factor put into the equation. So that's going to be a great area for us to see where we are at. Now we have resources. Okay, this session which has ended, the one where you turn in all your Conjuguemos assignments, and today's sessions are meant for you practicing getting prepared for our first remote assessment. This assessment is going to be built from your resources given on OneNote. OneNote is the place where I'm getting most of the information and content where this quiz, this assessment, this prueba is coming from. Your Cultura Actividad B, your Flipgrid, expressions and actions in the past assignment, your Canción, okay, which has also been part of your Conjuguemos assignment. All these small features from each of these actividades have been put into those two Conjuguemos assignments or activities that you guys turned in on last session. So I'm going to encourage you to focus on those resources. Do not focus on the other resources, which are mainly the translators available online. Focus on these resources given to you by me, Prof. On campus. Por favor, corre a On campus. And follow the list of assignments due that show as active. Those that you will be seeing for this session are mainly this puzzle video, this tutorial 7, Practica Prueba. It is probably the first time in this class where we have these assessments, this type of assignments within On Campus. This is going to provide us the opportunity to, one, just have it all on one platform, and two, enable one feature that other resources don't provide, which is timing. This practice prueba is time. You only have 30 minutes to complete it. So it is very important that you manage your time and set up a 30-minute block within any of these days where this session assignments are due to sit down and complete your tarea, which is this practice test. I would like you to read the introduction, the description of this prueba. I wrote some introduction to the assessment, and also I pointed out the resources that you need. Okay. These practice assessments I wrote will help you tackle 3 things in order for you to get prepared for any remote assessment. Okay, one is get familiar with the question types. So the questions that you see up here will be similar to the questions that you'll see in the future next session when you have a more formal assessment. B, identify and revisit your resources. Okay, so you'll understand, you realize that all these questions here are coming from the resources provided by me, Profe. And 3, the time your expertise. What does this mean? Since any assessment online is technically open book, right? You guys can, and I'm not seeing what you guys are doing, okay? A time limit factor and an open-ended question factor will better determine your expertise. The less prepared, the less you have previously visited your resources, the longer it will take you and most challenging it will be to complete this assessment or any assessment. So this is going to help you understand how much preparedness you need to have. If you take this practice prueba and you are going back and forth with the resources and you're taking way too long to answer each question, that means that you're not very prepared. If you do this right away because you're familiar with a lot of the information in the questions, then you will have been prepared, which means you looked at the resources previously, you completed all the assignments that you were supposed to, and you completed the previous last session assignment, the Conjuguemos assignment, in a good manner. Okay, so that is important for you to realize. Again, when you have your assessment next class, the formal assessment, you guys will have a little less than 30 minutes. This is basically 3 minutes per task. On your next session, when you have the formal prueba, you will have probably about 2 minutes per task. Okay, that is one thing that you have to keep in mind. So please understand, you have to do this on-campus practice prueba on one sitting. You have to schedule your time to be seated for 30 minutes. You cannot hit pause and continue later. You can't. You have to do this all in one sitting. So please manage and schedule your time well. Okay, it is important that you see this is puzzle video 2, which is also an assignment. Remember, discussion board is open for your attendance. Don't miss it, okay? Gracias chicos, gracias chicos. Y recuerden, it's a good fight. Estamos juntos en esto.